But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
Americans didn't really have a good sense of who she was as a person. And as I got to know her more behind the scenes, I started to see someone who seemed sort of trapped between what she really believed and kind of what actually motivated her versus what she at times, I think, thought the Democratic base wanted to hear, the more progressive wing of the party.
Kamala Harris, dochter van een Jamaicaanse vader en Indiaanse moeder, groeit op in Oakland, Californië. Daar begint ook haar carrière als openbaar aanklager in San Francisco.
San Francisco city leaders hope that a different approach will stomp out a growing problem, violence involving young people.
We will be prosecuting in cases where we find that there are parents who are not allowing or sending their children to school.
During that time, she wrote a book called Smart on Crime. And that's where I think you really saw the sort of true Kamala Harris as a politician. Which is to say, somebody who was a bit more moderate, a bit more centrist.
She's California's most innovative district attorney. Kamala Harris created a long overdue child assault unit, the first ever environmental justice unit, a national model for early intervention, and dramatically higher conviction rates for violent crime.
Our justice system needs drastic repair. Early intervention leaves room in our prisons for the violent criminals who should be there.
We've sort of seen that version of her fade away. But I think right now, especially, there's really a yearning in the Democratic Party for exactly a politician like her as she was when she was back in California as a prosecutor, as an attorney general.
Sick of this? Well, think about this. This is Trump. And in every possible way, this is the anti-Trump.
In 2019 doet Harris een gooi naar het presidentschap. Biden wint, maar kiest wel Kamala als vicepresident.
First of all, is the answer yes?
The answer is absolutely yes, Joe, and I am ready to work. I am ready to do this with you, for you. I'm just deeply honored.
She really went into presidential politics without a deep background in national politics more broadly. And I think that helped contribute to voters' sense of, I don't know who this person is. I don't know anything about them. And I think you're still seeing the residual effects of that today.
Met migratie krijgt vicepresident Harris meteen een polariserend dossier in handen. Een pijnlijk interview doet de rest.
We are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
She had the highest unfavorability rating that NBC News had ever accorded to a vice president in their history of doing that polling. And it was really only in 2022 when, in the lead up to the midterm elections, you had the Supreme Court's abortion decision leaked to the public, that she really sort of finally found a space for herself as a vice president.
This is a fight for freedom. The fundamental freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not having her government tell her what to do.
En zo is Harris plots presidentskandidaat. De Democraten lijken overtuigd, nu de kiezers nog.
Is she ready to hold a job like the presidency? To the extent that anyone is ready, then yes, Kamala Harris is. But I think that Joe Biden and his White House have really failed in a lot of ways in the past 4 years to convince Americans that she is ready for a job like that.